Hello and welcome to my guide for the current world record route for Medabots AX. We'll be using the Medabi version over the Rokusho version, as Medabi is a much more efficient row battler. Matches are played in one of 7 locations: the factory, polar, seashore, lake, forest, ruins, and the tournament site. At these locations, there are blue circles, which will begin a practice row battle, which can only give you experience, and there are stars, which begin an anti-row battle. If you win, you get one of the meta parts used from any of your opponent's Medabots, and if you lose, you would lose any one of the parts you used, but instead you would reset the game and begin that battle over again, as you can't afford to lose any of the parts that you have. Row battles are 2v2 with a leader Medabot and a partner Medabot. The row battle ends when the leader of either team is destroyed, or after 3 minutes and 10 seconds, in which case the team with the healthiest leader wins. Medabots are either male or female, and are made of 4 parts: the head, the right arm, the left arm, and legs. For the purposes of this speedrun, you can use only these parts given to you at the beginning of the game to go through the entire game. For those of you familiar with the anime, our leader is Medabi. And for our partner, we give her the Pretty Face, the Pateri Vulcan, the Flop, and the Flare Gather. Alright? Now you're ready for battle, so let's learn how to fight. Row battling is quite simple. You can walk by pressing left or right on the directional pad. You can run by double tapping that direction. You can short hop by lightly tapping A. You can full hop by pressing and holding A. And you can drop down from a platform by pressing down and A. You can press B for your right arm attack, and you can press it up to 3 times in quick succession. This will scatter your shots mid, high, and low. Down B for your left arm attack. It's much more powerful, however a longer cooldown. Up B for the head attack. For Medabi, it's the heat-seeking missile, almost guaranteed to knock out a part from your opponent. Be careful, as you're only given 3 charges, and they can be interrupted, causing you to lose the charge. Holding L will defend, and this greatly reduces incoming damage, as shown here. And finally, the Metaforce, which if you press select while that green bar at the bottom left of the screen is filled, will fire 4 heat-seeking fireballs, which deal great damage. If you knock your opponent to the ground with an attack, they will be invulnerable to regular attacks until they get up and stop flashing. However, on the ground, they cannot defend themselves and are still vulnerable to Metaforce attacks. This will be one of your main strategies throughout the run, knocking your opponents to the ground so they're vulnerable to the Metaforce and they cannot defend themselves. Medabots AX is broken into 3 parts: the trials, the tournament, and, spoiler alert, fighting the 4 members of the RubberRobo gang who steal your prize for winning the tournament. The run ends when you beat Seaslug and his Medabot, Robo Emperor. Along the run, there are some meta parts I would suggest equipping if you happen to pick them up. They are the Pun, the Plus Driver, although I would consider the Pun over the Plus Driver as far as right arms are concerned. The Smacker, a tankier set of legs that also make it easier to move underwater. Variable Hair can make your Medabots more likely to score a headshot with their attacks. And any arm that hits with ice or lightning. These are the Light Blow, Light Jab, Flap, and Flop. They will stun your opponents, making them unable to defend and easier to hit with a missile. Trials consist of 3 consecutive battles, and the prize for winning is both a new medal and one of the 24 meta parts used by any of your opponent's Medabots throughout the 3 fights. As for the order of the trials, you can do them in any order you like, but keep in mind that they will get progressively more difficult as you complete them. I like to start in the polar region. You can win the Pun or the Smacker, and it's also a fight in the water, so it's more difficult to move without the Smacker. Forest has a difficult fight, so I go there next. Then Factory, Lake, Seashore, and then finally Ruins, as Ruins has the easiest fights. If you follow my order, there is only one fight that can be considered troublesome during the trials. It's the second fight in the polar region. The leader runs away from fighting you the whole time. My strategy is to use the Medaforce because he can evade your missiles as he runs away. Medaforce can be built by simply standing still, and it can also be built by taking damage. In some fights, a good strategy is just to take as much damage as you can to build your Medaforce meter as quickly as possible. Once you've defeated all 6 trials, a gold star will appear near the tournament site, and you can click on that to start row battling in the tournament. Most important thing to remember here is to save after every row battle. You'll be given the option to continue row battling consecutively. My advice would be to always decline it. Most row battles are straightforward and easy in the tournament, but there are 2 that are a real pain. The first is Jimmy. He's incredibly defensive. Both of his Medabots have arm pieces that will increase their defense, and the leader has a headpiece that also increases the defense. You can tell when they're affected by the buff by a blue shield appearing near their head. Do not attack them with head missiles or the Medaforce at this time, as it will deal almost no damage. Because they have so much access to these buffs, the downtime of it is very, very short. Finding the openings to get your attacks in might require a little bit of luck and a few resets. Don't be discouraged if that's the case. The other tough fight is Erika. I don't know what they did, but Brass, her Medabot, is an absolute monster. If you aren't defending, any of her attacks will destroy one of your Medaparts. She also has the part Variable Hair, which, as I mentioned earlier, increases her odds of hitting your headpiece with her attacks. She and her partner are also incredibly aggressive, so don't forget to switch your partner's command to stay close to me. If you're lucky, your partner may freeze Brass and you can take some of her parts with your missiles, or knock her down and Medaforce her to death. Compared to Erika, the rest of the tournament is a cakewalk. After you beat Koji and win the tournament, the RubberRobo gang comes in to steal the Arcbeetle Medabot prize. In order to retrieve it and complete the run, you have to defeat the 4 main members. Finding them is a bit luck dependent, as they can appear in any of the trial sites, but only 1 member per site, and once you find them, they will always appear at that particular site. For example, Squid Guts will always be the first RubberRobo member that you will encounter. If you don't find him at the first site that you check, then he won't be at that site. You check the next site. If he's not there, he won't be at that site. Once you find him at a site, he will always show up at that site in case you need to reset if you lose to him. Gilgirl is the next main member of the RubberRobo gang to find, and you can use the same strategy you used to find Squid Guts to find her, except don't check the place where you found Squid Guts. No other main member of the RubberRobo gang can appear at a place that any of the other main members have been at. Sea Slug is the final boss, and also the most difficult fight in the game. His leader, Medabot, Robo Emperor, will one-shot any of your parts with any of his attacks. His partner also has the headpiece of the Belzelga Medabot, the helmet, which can revive a broken piece. The partner also has the monkey medal, which restores headpiece charges. My strategy is to first take out the partner. To do that, first you need to destroy one of the partner's pieces. This will then trigger the AI to immediately use their headpiece. Once they're in the animation of the headpiece, it can be interrupted. Just continuously do that until their head is destroyed, and then you can focus on taking out Robo Emperor. As long as Robo Emperor has his left arm, he will stand on one side of the map and continuously shoot lasers at you. While his partner is alive, this can actually disrupt your ability to hit him safely. Once the partner is down, go for Robo Emperor by trying to knock him down and then using the Medaforce. An easy way to knock him down is by shooting him while he's charging his laser, as because it's a left arm laser, he must stand still while using it. Even without his partner, Robo Emperor is still incredibly dangerous, so be careful not to get hit by his attacks. Once his headpiece is down, his function has ceased, and the run is over. If you have any in-depth questions about the game for me, you can visit me at my Twitch channel. I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. I hope that someday maybe this run can become a little competitive. Thanks for watching.